team, call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show, a special edition here on Sunday, December 28th. And we're going to have NFL football. Love when there's NFL football. On December 28th, we're going to have a great show here. We also got NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Hey, college basketball's back as of last night. We're going to play for, I don't know what they told me, but something like 78 straight days here with college basketball until sometime when the tournament gets underway. So we'll have college basketball back to talk about after a little hiatus there over the last holiday. So hopefully, hey, thanks for joining us last night on the Sports Money Network for our coverage of Saturday night football there last night. We had a pretty fun time with the guys and the show last night with the Ravens taking down the Packers big time behind Derrick Henry. I figured they were going to bench him. I mean, what do I know? I mean, I know they're going to run this guy 36 times. They couldn't figure out for the last month to put him in the game, and they're not in the playoffs. So I guess they said, hey, we might as well use him now. Well, we're not going to make the playoffs. So dumb Baltimore, way to go. He crushed it with 36 carries. I said he'd get under 16 carries. I know nothing about football. I mean, I've been watching Baltimore football, man. They're not using the guy. So they figured they'd put it in your face for saying all the bad things that you said about the Baltimore Ravens and John Harbaugh for not using him, and they'll just run him 36 times. Just could have used him like 20 to 25 times every game, and you'd be in the playoffs right now. So bad job, Ravens. They won 41-24 over the Packers, who, by the time the dust had started to settle, the Packers looked like they knew their situation was going to be sealed and that they'll be taking on the Bears on the road. Nothing they can do. So they kind of got a little bit behind the schedule there. Look, Hundley looked good, but Willis actually looked better in a way. Willis looks like the guy who could get, a contract and go play somewhere, maybe in Las Vegas, for example, there last night. So was definitely a interesting night there with the Ravens over the Packers, and thanks for joining us there on the show. Baltimore needs the Steelers to lose in Cleveland Sunday. They already said that, hey, they're calling up Shador, make sure he can handle it, maybe get the upset against the hot Steelers. We'll talk about it. We won't go too much there into yesterday's action, but Texans did beat the Chargers 20-16. The most accurate kicker missed 4 points, and the Chargers lost 20-16. So Texans clinched the playoffs for the third year in a row. They've gone 8-0 in their last 8 games, 6-2 against the spread. First 2 drives, Texans had 2 bombs, and that really was kind of the difference in the game. Houston led 14-3 at halftime, and the Chargers are in the playoffs. They'll have a road playoff game in 2 weeks. Don't be surprised if it's the early game on a Saturday against Houston Texans. Houston always plays that game. Chargers going to be on the road. We'll see where they end up. Going to be a little bit more jostling in the AFC, I think, than the NFC in the following week and a half here, if you want to call it that. We've had 5 games so far in week 17 here, and we've had 5 upsets basically so far. So I mean, five underdogs have covered anyway, not upsets, but the underdogs. The dogs are barking this week. Will it happen again today in the NFL? We'll preview it. Say hello to the folks in the chat, especially. I see it already. Elliot, what a night with. We can cover a little bit of college football anyway because we had a pretty good show. By the way, Elliot, let him take the bow here. I'm not going to take any credit, despite the fact that, hey, well, I wasn't going to go against East Carolina on the show yesterday morning. So, yeah, we were on the East Carolina Pirates, especially after it went up to 13 points and they took down Pitt for Pitt. This was the biggest spread loss by an ACC team that was in a bowl game ever, right? If you think about, I think they're saying by how much, just the fact that Pittsburgh was favored basically by the 2 touchdowns, and the fact that East Carolina ends up winning the game there by 6 points, so 19. It could have been ever, but whatever it was, they said it was some type of milestone mark that the ACC team basically lost by 20 against the spread, if you know what I mean. Does that make any sense? I don't even know what they said, but it was something pretty good that, but also note that the ACC, there were some other games in there too, right? But look, Clemson there. Yeah, let me get through Elliot's great stuff here because he's talking about being at the game yesterday. And how about the quote here? You don't underestimate them. You don't coach. You don't play there. You don't do anything unless you got a strong heart. Go Pirates. They got it done there. And Elliot, even with the win, he had to get a dig in on the referees. So great job by East Carolina. We had them here. I also had a bet on the under. You might have seen me on another show touting the under in that game. So yeah, we were all over that game. We've had a good bowl season here. Maybe not Mikey Money good, but yeah, we've had a pretty strong bowl season. I think everybody knows that watches me here. So we had a few losers though yesterday. We can talk about them real quick, but great job, Pirates. And there's Josh 47,000. Good morning. Bobby Mack is here today. He's ready to go. We got some EPL right now I'm watching. Of course, I'm watching the Darts World Championships. My best bet already lost, and this one's going to be close. But I think it's going to be close here. My 2 public bets there at the Darts World Championships. Sunderland and Leeds right now. And also, man, there's 5 goals in this African Cup of Unders game here with Mozambique winning 3-2 right now. And there's also, we've already had one final in Italy as Milan beat Verona 3-0. Napoli and Cremonese right now going at it. But Mozambique going to beat Gabon here. Big upset at the African Cup of Unders here right now. Anybody with me here on this great sports action today? Hey, how about coming up in an hour and a half? You guys brought it to my attention yesterday, but what are you going to do? Are you guys going to bet on the Battle of the Sexes? You might not remember, as even I remember the Battle of the Sexes. I was only 6 years old, but it was such a huge sporting event. I can remember, I think it was ABC Wild World of Sports, or when Billie Jean King took on Bobby Riggs, and Bobby Riggs beat Billie Jean. It's a little different now, but you can have Nick Kyrgios going up against Arena Sabalenka today. Kyrgios about a $5 favorite. He's laying 4.5 games. There are some special rules in this one. I think there's only one serve, for example. The court is also a smaller court, so maybe it's a little bit of shading there to try to help Sabalenka in there. The total 19.5. So we'll see. What do you think of the Battle of the Sexes there today with Nick Kyrgios and Arena Sabalenka? Arguably the number 1 women's player, Nick Kyrgios, meanwhile, not the number 1 player in the world. This guy's career, he's trying to resurrect it a little bit. He's moved into social media and, done some kind of crazy that this guy's still, well regarded considering his shaky background and, of course, his poor attitude on the court. He's a little bit intriguing, but shouldn't deserve such an opportunity. It would feel like, especially considering the transgressions that he's been accused of in the past with domestic situations, if you will. Josh is here, though, today. Great to see you. Thank you for coming in today. Andrew K is here today. Thank you, Andrew, for being here. Nuke is here as well. Good morning. And let's see, it's Sunday. Kripke's has got his plays here. Saints, Seahawks, and Jazz. And Jazz have been hot. Jazz are hot there. Thank you to AOD to be here today. Pistons basketball. Great to have you. Let's see where else. Jazz there. There's Damon Waring in the chat, ready to go. Also here, let's see, Blake is here today. Good morning to Blake. Duke is here. Hey, everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Hey, we got some steam coming in right now. Why not? College basketball's back. Texas Tech is getting steamed in their game against Winthrop. Winthrop's, Winthrop this year, kind of, right? And but Texas Tech's doing pretty well, and they're taking the steam here right now. We're seeing Texas Tech move a little bit higher here too. Looks like 18.5 or so. Winthrop, just a couple games over 500 right now. Maybe it's not a typical Winthrop program currently, and Texas Tech off to a pretty good start here. So they're up to 18.5 as our first steam comes in here on the show this morning. All right. Public Enemy, good morning to you. There's Cash Gain and Jake Parma as well. Hey, we did have a few picks there. Yep. Elliot, also winners here on the show yesterday included Penn State there over Clemson. We had the Nittany Lions here on the show yesterday. And we also had Georgia Tech and BYU game. Let's see. Oh, we had them. Let's see. We had BYU. Trying to find the winners here from the show yesterday. And Houston and LSU game to go over was a winner here yesterday, as well as Virginia. Okay, so we'll just get into it, though. We don't have a lot of time to waste. We've got to be out of here, I believe, at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. I think we're making way for the show with Sharky and Mikey today. And we want to get their take on the NFL as well, but I want to get your take on the NFL. Hey, everyone, you can get free subscription from me today when you subscribe over at winnable.com/Ramon. Get my plays today so far. I've got NFL card, college basketball card up and ready over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM at checkout to save 20% off the premium pick package. But hey, I'm in a giving mood today. You better believe it. So why not consider subscribing and using the promo code here, Xmas. I'll give you 1 week of my picks. You can check it out, see how it works. It looks pretty cool when it comes in on your device. Either your laptop or your computer, and get my plays from me over at winnable.com/Ramon. When you subscribe, it'll come up just like this. It'll look like this at the top, and then you scroll down, you'll see the plays come in here. When you do, go ahead and choose that promo Xmas and get the 7-day package for free. And you see some grading on there as well, but the plays are already up there in the NFL and in college basketball today. And it kind of has a nice little thing there where you can choose a book, and it kind of shows the grading as well in green when we hit the winners there. So you can see some winners. I'm not going to go too far into it, but really appreciate it if you wanted to subscribe and try it out for 1 week. To be cautioned, it will tell you at the bottom, after 7 days, it will begin to charge you. So make sure that either keep subscribing, but if you do want to subscribe, make sure you opt out before the next one before the charge takes place. Only want to charge you if you want to be charged. All right. Blake is here today. I think we said that. Public Enemy, hello, nice to see you. And Cash Kane said Huntley. I still think Willis outplayed Huntley in the game. Does everyone kind of agree with that, though? Look, he didn't win the game. Snoop did a great job. But he had Derrick Henry 4 touchdowns and all that bashing and running. M the Great there. And hey, we had the Nets yesterday as our show play here, and they got it done. We had some winners in the NBA yesterday here on the show, including Denver and Orlando over. We had Brooklyn, of course, there. We had Bucks and Bulls to go under. We also had Jazz and Spurs game under the total, and we also had the Cavaliers and Rockets game to go under in the NBA. Okay, let's get ready to go and start the show. We don't have time to waste if we got to get there. I don't know how far we'll get, but we got to get at least through the NFL, NBA, and maybe NHL, and then hopefully we may have some time for some college basketball. If not, we got a package out there at Winnable. All right, a little bit of breaking news here real quick. Did see that George Kittle will likely miss tonight's game. That one came out about a half an hour ago. He looks extremely likely to not make the game here on Sunday night. So that just came up a little while ago. Really, the line didn't move for the absence of Kittle. May have kind of been baked in a little bit already that he was going to miss the game. So all right, let's get it rolling here right now and go to the NFL and look at our card here. Like I said, there's already been 5 games this week. It's been all underdogs. Is that going to happen here again on Sunday? Let's start it off with a pretty big dog here, or big favorite, wherever you want to call it, with the Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Arizona Cardinals here. Cincinnati, they're still trying. Even they're eliminated. When you've got bring your quarterback back, the Bengals, they're so bad. They don't even know. I mean, they just let's put, good old Joe out there. Hopefully he won't die and just keep on plugging. So the Bengals have actually looked like they're still trying here a little bit. The fans are still involved, and it's been pretty good. Now here comes the Arizona Cardinals in here looking pretty crummy, despite, the fact that you have a quarterback in Jacoby Brissett, who does keep firing. No problem. He does, he could do worse than Brissett out there. But, man, they've a big-time losing streak here right now for Arizona. They really haven't covered anything in a month as well. So, like I said, the Bengals, no problem, even if they might be a little bit, they're not really even banged up other than maybe in the interior a little bit. This is a pretty good offensive lineup here going out there today. If you think about it, with Burrow, with Brown, with Samaje Perine, could be in position to get some extra work here today. It looks like, according to some of the beat writers here, with these 2 run defenses, I mean, even the Arizona Cardinals could do some damage here with Michael Carter, maybe even Super Mercado in there today. But Bengals, what they do is actually the pass defense is the one thing they've kind of been good at this year, even with their bad season. They kind of defend pretty well. Harrison's been pretty much out of focus here a little bit. He's got a heel injury, should be available here, but basically was out for 4 of the last 6 weeks. So you wonder how much he's got left this season with this team that really like I said, the Bengals are trying. I don't know if Arizona's trying too hard here right now. But you do have Trey McBride, the best in the game, going up against the worst guarding of tight ends. I mean, if you're not on McBride today, and okay, so the bookmakers know, everybody knows, this is absolutely the best matchup, that the best tight end in the league outside of Dallas Goedert, of course, Trey McBride. And most people will say it's Trey McBride, but a huge matchup for McBride here in a game that probably should have a lot of scoring by the time it's all said and done. I mean, look what the Bengals did in that last game against Miami on the road, 48-21. Why wouldn't that be the score here against Arizona today? I got to go over here in this one with Arizona and Cincinnati. I was going over. I was trying to go over the Cincinnati lineup, but Brown and Perine and look, Chase, Higgins, Yoshibosh could get action today. Gasecki as well, ready to roll. This team with this bad Arizona defense should be all systems go, actually, for Cincinnati today, and they could get a rout over Arizona. Look, maybe I've gotten burned a few times with Arizona this season, but they are 5-2 against the spread on the road, so I don't want to doubt them there. And Cincinnati's had problems actually covering the spread, but again, Joe was out for so long, and now he's like I said, yeah, he was really bummed about that one game. Think of the rust, though. Remember, he was so bad in that game, and he was really down on himself. Almost looked like he wanted out of Cincinnati. Maybe he still does, but bounce back big time next week. And with a game here at home, you got to think the Bengals can put up some numbers. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys got here in this one. And not too much going on, with this ugly game. Maybe we should move on to the next one already. Our Tomps, good morning. There's Cash Kane. He's on the over. The Bengals on the spread. Walk like an Egyptian. Here's Blake on the over. So, all right, not much from you guys on this one. I'm going to take the over, though, for sure. I mean, it's 53. This is pretty much the high total of the day. Arizona's got some deficiencies here, but maybe against the Bengals, they can get it going a little bit and at least cooperate with the number here. I think it'll be hard pressed for the Cardinals to stay within a touchdown, actually, in this game in the end. And, Bengals, maybe the back door could come through for the Cardinals here, but I'm going to try the over instead. Right, next up, the Seahawks are on the road taking on the Panthers, two playoff-bound teams here, possibly. Look, the Panthers, I'd say they're in the driver's seat here right now, and problem for them, though, is they're a touchdown underdog in this game against Seattle. It doesn't take away from the fact that, it's been a real good season for Carolina. I mean, look, as long as they can get a focus here and either win this one or the next one, they'll probably good, especially next week. But look, they could put it away today. I mean, Tampa Bay, yeah, they're on the road. Yeah, they're favored. But, Carolina's an underdog. And by the end of the day, both teams could be 8-8, actually, here after week 17. So there is some concern there. But, man, what's the disrespect? Okay, Seattle's hot. Not only are they hot, they're looking great here, but the win over LA was a tremendous game. Obviously, one of the games of the year, if not the game of the year. They beat the Colts at home, but remember, struggled to just win that game, much less cover as a 12.5-point favorite. They did hammer Atlanta on the road. I don't think that's similar to this game because I think the Panthers much better than Atlanta, but they also blanked Minnesota. Remember when Minnesota was without basically a quarterback there. Also beating Tennessee on the road, favored by 12.5, only won by 6. Now Seattle is 6-1 against the spread on the road, and they've been hot covering the numbers here right now as well in the last few games. They're doing a terrific job actually covering the spread. But the Panthers are 5-2 against the spread at home, 9-4 against the spread as an underdog. They're definitely capable here. I mean, they're about to stop Tampa Bay's streak of winning the division here, possibly. It still could all unravel. They could be tied here today, and they'll have one more game, obviously, next week, and that could be a factor. But, man, the Panther, this crowd, it's going to be pretty awesome here, it feels like to me, going into this game in Carolina today. I like Carolina for a big chance to stay in this one, but I'm going to go with the under in this game. I think that's what's going to happen. Look, we know that, yeah, sure, Darnold has been better. He's been capable, but on the road, it's still tough. And Carolina has a pretty legitimate defense here, at least for a division title contending team. Even if they're a game against over 500, I've got them as a top 4 or 5 rushing, or not rushing defense here, but top probably top 10 pass defense here defensively. The rushing defense is actually kind of weak. That's what Seattle should actually do with Walker and Charbonnet, pound that ball a little bit. The other way around, Seattle's rushing defense, we know, is a top 5 rushing D for sure. So we'll see about Dowdle and Chuba if they can get going there. Also, their defense is strong. They can try to keep Chet McMillan down. That's who the Panthers are probably going to have to rely on to get the scores here are McMillan and Xavier Legette. If you look at the defense here, it looks like a tall order, but I just think with the momentum, the crowd, I just have still some problems with this Seattle team on the road here maybe. In this one, I think it goes under 42 with Seattle and Carolina. Let me go to the chat and see what you guys have to say in this one. All right, I'm going here with... All right, here. Okay. Cash Canes on the Seahawks money line. Public Enemy likes Seattle here. Robert's going to take the dog. D Money. Good morning. R. Thompson on Seattle. Robert also going over here. So is Blake. Crip Keys on the Seahawks. Stein Legacy on Carolina and the under here. There's Nick Handy in the chat. We were having a great time with Nick last night in the chat there. He likes Hawks. Lay it. He likes Darnold with a couple of TDs. So I think in general, the chat's mostly on Seattle here. Here's Seattle money line and under for Public Enemy. So I just, I have a lot of respect for what Carolina's doing here this season. Yeah, they've been up and down a little bit, losing to a few teams they shouldn't have. Probably shouldn't lose to New Orleans on the road. Yeah, they got smacked down against the Niners, but Niners are hot. They, of course, beat the Rams at home. They beat Tampa in the first meeting at home. That's what's so important about trying to get this upset today, because you're going to have to go on the road against Tampa Bay there. So it's not over in the NFC South. In fact, the percentages here currently for the two teams, Carolina is in the driver's seat right now at 40, or actually the Buccaneers have actually, the percentage wise here, Buccaneers 55% to get in, Tampa and Carolina 45%. That's because you'd think the Buccaneers will be favored this week. Buccaneers expected to win, Panthers expected to lose. So it's the slimmest of margins. It could come down to that game next week, but Carolina could do a lot here with the win. All right, let's see who else. Carolina in the over for Damon. And we do. Good to see we do. All right. And Barr liking the over here. And Nuke is on the Panthers plus the points. And I guess that's it for that one. We got to keep it moving here right now on the Morning Steam Show with the Steelers taking on the Browns. And man, the Steelers, who saw it coming? Only Aaron Rodgers and those Steelers fans, and the 3-game winning streak right now, averaging basically 28 points in the last 3 victories. You're going up against the Cleveland team that we can try to pump up Shador here, that he's been decent. And you know what? There are moments of solid quarterbacking play, and then there's not so good moments. But the one thing I would say about Sanders here is, I think when I see him out there, I don't see a 5th-round draft choice as a quarterback. I see someone who probably should have been drafted a little bit higher, especially given some of the other rookie quarterbacks here right now. And yeah, maybe they held him back a little bit. Maybe it's going to work out after all for Shador. But still, they've lost 4 in a row, and they get just caught too much behind the sticks a little bit and can't make enough consecutive plays. And they finally covered in the game against Buffalo. They gave Buffalo a great run. We were on Cleveland in that game, but before that, they lost and failed against the Niners, against Tennessee, against Chicago. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, so impressive on this run with the win at Baltimore as a dog, beating up on Miami on the road, and then getting that win at Detroit as an underdog for Pittsburgh. But second consecutive road game here for Pittsburgh right now. Cleveland, yeah, nothing to play for. At least you have a defensive player going for a record. He's going for a milestone in Myles Garrett. And like I said, I think with Sanders, look, it does good news here for Cleveland. It does look like that we're going to get here Fannin Jr. Looks like he'll make the game here. That's important because he has been awesome. It's a real connection there between Shedeur and Fannin Jr. Also, Isaiah Bond. Yeah, he got shut out last week. The week before that, he did have the big connections. So that's the other thing. We've seen Shedeur, his deep ball, because of his strong arm and his ability to throw it on the run. There aren't many of those younger quarterbacks that are coming in that can do what Shedeur is doing, quite frankly, as far as just a pure arm strength there. There are a lot of other things we could point out that aren't up to par. And if Jerry Jeudy could catch the ball instead of whining or talking about how great he is, that might be nice. Maybe we should just throw it to Cedric Tillman a little more, huh? The running game is definitely hurting here because of the injuries for Cleveland. So, look, between who's going to be in here? I mean, Dylan Sampson's questionable here. I guess it's going to be Travion Williams, who had 38 yards last week in receptions and was 3 for 17 on the ground. So also Raheem Sanders, remember, was getting the ball there, kind of looked like a goal line back a little bit. So look, the Steelers are still, this is almost, I want to say, a little bit unexpected. Now, Roger said he came to, Pittsburgh to play in important games in December, and he's got his wish. They still, to me, have some, long-term limitations here. But remember, they played the Bears well at home on the road as well. It's funny how they stink it up against some opposition. Kenneth Gainwell has been incredible, and you pair him up with Warren, it's a pretty good combination for sure. But Gainwell so dangerous in the passing game here. But where the Steelers are going to be lacking today will be in the receiving core without DK, because now you're going to be going with MVS and Thielen, and that's pretty much, I guess Skoranek will be in there a little bit. I don't know if we'll get a Scotty Miller sighting. We did last week there, so we'll see. But again, without DK, the receiving core are almost MIA, it feels like. Can Thielen do anything here as a number one right now? Because I thought they said is Calvin Austin, he is out with a hand. That would have been key. They need Austin, and if they don't have DK, they don't have Austin. Pittsburgh really thin here. They do have the plethora of tight ends. Those guys might have to line up at wide receiver here. Who Washington maybe could, I guess. So we'll see, but I think that kind of has me leaning a little bit towards Cleveland. But I'm going to go ahead and take the over in this one. Yeah, the weather's a little bit tricky here too, with rain coming in, 46 degrees, 13-mile-an-hour winds, but just looks a little bit low to me here at 34.5. Has it gone up a little bit? Yeah, it's up to 34, 35, 35 and a half. So I think could be public. I don't think that's going to be wise guy money. So maybe I'm a little square here, but I'm going to take the over with the Steelers and the Browns today. And, figure that, should be pretty cool. I think the Browns can be competitive actually in this game with the Steelers on the back-to-back road games actually. All right, let's see what we got here now in the chat and get your picks on Steelers and the Browns today. You guys got a lot of comments on this one. Here we go. I'm going to start off with our Tom's Cleveland and the under. Cash Kane, Browns, money line, and yeah, I would say a 9 legacy. Yeah, look, he probably should have been maybe not first, maybe second round. And look, Dion's long gone from the picture. I think he's held up his end of the bargain. He's not a guy who's interfering or anything like that. Maybe he will end up coaching him somewhere again one day. But, Dion, I think as much hubbub as that was all about, hey, I know a lot of guys that like coaching their sons at different levels, right? It's a great experience for a family, no matter how nerdy you want to talk about it. Division dogs, says Nuke. Cleveland, sprinkle the money line there. And now that the Ravens won, it's the Steelers to win. Hi, Rob. Nice to see you, Rob. All right. Hello to Stop Geo there. Kripke says could be a brown spot, but it's going to be tough a little bit, right, to kind of pull the trigger. Blake will do the over there. Dirty Reg can't see Cleveland winning at all. I don't know. I don't know if I could see them getting this game. Myles Garrett here. It's still NFC North. I don't want to doubt Pittsburgh right now because I want to kind of pull for the one thing I said at the beginning of the season. I think I said this, if you're going to go to one team, this might be the right move for Rodgers at the time. Fernando on the over, stop Gio going McBride big time. Judy's terrible. 9 Legacy says here. Also, yeah, you're right, Terrell. And I don't know. The thing is, right, he comes off a little bit, confident, if you will. I think he's extremely humble, actually, because of his relationship with his. You could be, hey, you can wear the jewelry, but you hear him talk, and you really love his humility a little bit. All right, Browns and under here. Dirty Reggie likes the under. Bars there. Thank you, Mikey Money. Oh, man, thank you so much. Oh, man, 57 times around the sun. Oh, my goodness. I got to turn on the filter here to make myself look younger on the StreamYard. Just thank you, Mikey, and thank you for letting me be a part of the Sports Money Network and wearing this shirt every day, even if it smells a little funny, and being part of this family. To have the opportunity here at this age, failed sports writer and sportscaster, and be able to come on here and spew information to 100 or 200 people a day. Really cool that we've been able to do this together. So thank you, Mikey. Robert liking the under here. Thank you to Blake as well. Art Thompson, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. On my day here. All right. Also, Rogers, he'll have to get rid of it, right? And that's what's going to happen. Thank you to Cash Kane. Thank you to Var. I got more. You heard a few dings on the thing from some people sending some texts, but this is better. I'm getting a lot of more here than in real life. All right. Here we go. Thank you. We do as well. Thank you, Ron Young and Fernando as well. All right, man, we got to move on to the next game, but hey, love the making me feel good here. Oh, number 57. All right. 57, man. Almost want to. You think I'm crying because of all you guys saying happy birthday? I'm crying because of my age. I said I'm like the ketchup. I'm 57. And Paco de Gallo, nice to see you. And Nuke, don't worry, Nuke. If he doesn't get the sack record, they'll just mark it down, right? Remember when Strahan got the sack record from Favre, remember? And he let him tackle him. Wasn't that what happened? D-Money, thank you. All right. Let's move on to the next game, though, too. And, we're getting up there, man. And, hey, I just want to spend it with you guys. So you better get those picks. You better subscribe because, going to have to do a lot of arbitraging here if we don't pick a bunch of winners, okay? And or win some poker tournaments. Maybe I did one on Christmas. I played a poker tournament. Never get to play poker tournaments online anymore. They take too long. I like to play multi-table tournaments. I final tabled it the other day on Christmas. It was only a $10 tournament, but came in 5th place, and that was good for 314 or something like that. So that was pretty cool. And Damon, thank you. RVD, thank you. So Yeah, I had a little good good tournament there on the day off. Makes me think I should play more. All right, here we go. We got to keep it moving though here right now. Let's go to Saints and the Titans in this one. Look, you got the Saints coming in here with Tyler Shuck and Titans with Cam Ward. Look, I know the Saints might have a little bit more going for them here right now as far as their season at 5-10, but Tennessee's won 2 of 3. They've made some strides. New Orleans has won 3 straight. This is one of the best games of the day. What are you talking about? Not many teams can claim that the two teams playing one another won 5 of their last 6 games. So screw you. Let's go. Titans and Saints. Good game. But look, Cam Ward, I think he's kind of developing here, and they've had a little bit of a good run. Tennessee beat Kansas City, of course. They did beat Cleveland a couple of weeks ago. They hung in there and covered against or they didn't cover against the Vikings, but only missed by the 49ers, but only missed it by a half a point. They did cover at home against Seattle. They got blown out by Jacksonville, but, not a bad run here for Tennessee. They've tried to improve. I like Mike McCoy a lot. I don't think he'll get the job, but against the Saints here, look, everyone's talking Tyler Shuck and how good he's looked. I'd still say, why wasn't he in there before Rattler if he's so good? And yeah, the Saints have had some success here, but they've also, been a little bit inconsistent. Right now, they're pretty hot. Won 3 straight, covered 4 straight right now. I want to note to everybody, too, that Pittsburgh is taking some steam here right now for sure. Just take a look at the odds board, not only the one behind me, but your odds screens and your apps. I mean, they're up to 4.5 here right now. So Pittsburgh definitely taking the steam here right now. Some action, it feels like, coming in here on Pittsburgh. I didn't hear it, but I can see it, and you probably can too. It's 4.5 almost everywhere right now, at least 4. So, all right. Keep on going here, though, with this one. So, yeah, New Orleans covered 4 straight games coming in right now. They're also 4-3 on the road, 2-1. 4-3 ATS on the road, 2-1 against the spread as a favorite here. So, in this one, I'm going to sneak this one over. I think Ward can get it going. You might think with 2 teams that are going nowhere, sometimes these unders, but I'm more apt to take, I think, the over here in this one. So give me the over 40.5 with New Orleans and Tennessee here on Sunday. All right, we'll get a few plays from you guys and keep it moving, though. All right. Thank you to Mike Humphrey. Wait, me and Mike and I are the same age. No wonder. You know what, Mike? Hey, I might not be the most popular one on these streams, but I do attract a lot of the older crowd. I want to say that with Art Tom's next, but Art Tom's, thank you so much. Great, Art Tom's been with us for so long. Gooey as well. VAR here, Titans money line there. And Gooey thinks Shedeur is a player out there. He does not think that. I'm opposite. I think opposite of Shedeur there. All right, Eagles and Bills going to be a great game. We'll get to it. Blake says doesn't bet the Titans often, but he will today. I think I got to agree with that. Kripke on the Saints. Ward looks, just got to avoid the mistakes. It's going to take a while. Maybe his learning curve is taking a little bit longer. But, hey, not going to fault New Orleans and Shuck and the whole team as well. But still a little bit thin with their lineup here right now offensively. You got Estime in the backfield here, still no Kamara. And one of the things Tennessee does very well is stop the run. Olave here is expected to play, but certainly been injured. Still coming off his best game of the season against the Jets. And for Tipton, he is active here. Mason Tipton is basically number 2 there. And, of course, Jawan Johnson. So I don't know if I might look Pollard here and Spears. That might be okay. You got Io Manor and DK have really been coming up here lately for the Titans. So, all right, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, says we do. And Public Enemy on the Saints and the under here. And 9 legacy here. Let's see. Let's Robert on the over here. Dirty Reg, what's he said? New Orleans in the under there. And Burrow. But take Burrow down to New Orleans, maybe. Oh, man, that would be something, Gooey, wouldn't it? That would be awesome. Mike Evans and Olave, can they do it today in a parlay? You can't go wrong with those guys. But also though Tampa Bay, 3 good, or the one thing. Look, Evans is great, no doubt, but they got a lot of. You gotta love Tampa's receivers if you think about it, right? I mean, from Evans to Igbuka, Godwin in there today, and don't forget you've got Tez Johnson, who hasn't really had to do that. There's just not enough room for Tez Johnson. When they needed him, he'd been there, but now he's kind of buried on the depth chart. Him and Jalen McMillan, who look like good receivers. They're just too many good receivers. And with Evans healthy, all right, we got to keep it moving right now, especially after that game. How about the Bucs taking on the Dolphins here? Obviously, for the Bucs, we already said they need to win. Now, Miami looking to play spoiler, and remember, Miami, they've been playing pretty good. I mean, yes, they did lose the last 2 games. They were hot there for a while. I would argue, though, they played, Pittsburgh on the road. That wasn't a great matchup for them. They didn't look good against the Bengals. I'll give you that. But it seemed like they were making some progress there a little bit. And obviously, having sat Tua now here for the rest of the season, they're able to focus a little bit here with Quinn Ewers in at quarterback. He got a little rough there last week. I actually think it's probably the wrong decision, but to want to bench Tua, but you don't want to get him killed, obviously. So he's probably one guy you would get out of there. But for Tampa Bay here, they have just been dismal here for some reason. Now, can they just turn it on today and solve it all here with this 3-game losing streak? They haven't covered in a month and a half. They're 5-10 against the spread, 3-6 against the spread as a favorite. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Buccaneers. Maybe this is a great matchup for Baker. It does feel like it, but he keeps blowing it. Anytime they get a lead, he just gives it away anyways. So, look, Kate Otten's back as well. Should be a good matchup, but yours can, get it going here to guys like Waller. You got Achane, who's got a, obviously can have a pretty solid game. You got Waddle in there. You got Malik Washington. So, I've got to give Miami a chance in here to cover this game and cover this 5. It's already gone from 6 down here to 4.5 right now. 4.5, 5. I don't know. It's got to be pretty sharp money coming in on the Dolphins. I don't know if anybody's willing to just start coming in. There's some 5s out there, but we're seeing 4.5 at Circa right now. It's still 5, 4.5 at Bovada, 5 at BetOnline, 5.5 at DK, 5 or 5.5 here in Vegas right now. But there's no doubt off the 6s. I'm taking Miami in this one. I got to trust that maybe this is a little bit sharp here right now, and I'm willing to take Miami in this one plus the points. Obviously, look, Tampa, be careful, Tampa. If Dolphins come up and bite them here and the Panthers can get that up one way or the other, Tampa can't afford to lose, and Carolina could win as well. So that's going to be a good situation. Exciting to watch here in the 1 o'clock block in the NFC South. That next game notwithstanding next week, if the 2 teams do meet with the division title on the line, we'll see. So we can get your plays, though, here in the chat in this one. Look, Miami hasn't been a great cover either. I'll give you that. 3-4 ATS at home, 4-5 ATS as a dog. But, again, the Bucs basically haven't covered here in a month and a half right now. And who'd they beat? Arizona by 3, and they didn't cover that one either. The home games they're not covering. So, look, I think that matchup wise, I think it is okay for Miami here and for Tampa Bay here and that offense. After I just explained all those great receivers and everything, Godwin should have a good matchup with both Evans and Igbuka healthy here. It should spill down to him a little bit. I think he could be the player that makes the difference here. But I just think with Ewers here and a little bit of mixing in Achan, I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one. Okay, let's go. We're with the chat. And we've got Bucks here for Blake. Public Enemy on the other. Bucks here for Kane. They're healthy. I gotcha. I get you. No doubt about it. And let's see here. Cash Kane. We just said, would you have started if Carr was still there in Carolina? No, we do. What are you talking about? Always talking about Joey B starting over he's teasing us. Robert here is on the Dolphins. Thank you to Stand On Biz today. Thank you. And he's calling me kind of what the family does there. All right. Tampa Bay money line, full game. And Stand On Biz, no Shador hate in the chat. Feels like the Dolphins can score some points here against Tampa. They just give it away a little bit, right? They can't stand prosperity. Greg here likes right there on the number pretty much. And Terrell says Miami over. Achan and Waddle can get some yards here as well. So, and it's a beautiful day in no 30 degrees here. It's 80. It's 80. All right. And Gooey, not a big Shador fan. Okay, here we go. Let's go next. We got to keep it moving here. We've only got an hour left. Jaguars and Colts. Now, here's a dilemma right now. By the way, the total in the Tampa Bay game has dropped here to 43 and a half in the last couple minutes. Okay, here's the problem here with the Colts. They've been going with Rivers all week in practice. Now they're eliminated, and now they don't really need to go with Rivers. They need to play Riley Leonard in there because got to keep working on this situation. The Colts are out now. They're on a losing streak here. Jacksonville as Leeds has just scored. Jacksonville's on this massive heater right now. They're all not only winning, they're covering against everybody. The Colts, meanwhile, very similar, it feels like, to Dallas last game, right? Dallas got the word right that they were eliminated. Next game they were flat, they were done. Feels like that's where the Colts are going to be in this game, having learned yesterday that they've been practicing all week. Yeah, in the back of your mind, if you're realistic with yourself, I guess you could always be the eternal optimist, but not everybody on your team is going to be that way, and especially us gamblers, right? Didn't look like the Colts were going to make it. Think if you're a player now and you really have nothing to play for, and here comes the Jaguars, for whatever you want to say, man, what a job Liam Cohen has done with this team, with this offense, and the defense as well. Jaguars 5-1 against the spread on the road this season, 10-5 against the spread overall. Phillip Rivers, gonna be, the heat is on. Good thing, Phillip, unlike these other quarterbacks, man, Phillip just release. Drop back, release, right? He's never going to worry. Yeah, we're going to throw one where the receiver, remember he got that intentional grounding last game only because the receiver turned the other way. The refs might forget what it's like when the quarterbacks lead their receivers rather than wait for them to get open. And that's the difference between a guy like Phillip Rivers here. But he might actually be out of this game by halftime or something. I wouldn't be surprised if Leonard gets in there. Had not taken the first team reps, so you probably still got to go with Rivers. And it's still, the fans are coming to see Phillip Rivers. It's still a pro football game, even though they're eliminated, and he's quite an attraction. There's no question. People like to watch him there. And look, he might actually get into a little bit. He might get into a little bit of a trading here with with Lawrence right now in this game. I'm going to probably go over with this one between Jacksonville and Indy. I'm going to take the over here. Give Phillip a chance right now to get involved and do something here as well. So getting a little bit of update here on some of the injuries here just moments ago. Marvin Harrison Jr. Will be in for Arizona today, so that's good news for Arizona. We talked about them needing all their guys to kind of hang in there, and that only helps that over, I think. So, okay, we don't have to get too much into this because Jacksonville a big favorite here, and looks like they're just on fire right now, covering over Arizona, Tennessee, Indianapolis, the Jets, Denver. Not all tough games, but not all easy games either, and they've been knocking them down here one after another to really come on here, man. We haven't seen Jacksonville this good in several years here, kind of reminiscent of their days when they threatened to go to the Super Bowl a little bit and always ended up a little bit short. And, probably be the same thing this year, but what a great run right now by Jacksonville. And I imagine that Phillip will find a way to get everybody going, and it'll probably end up being a high-scoring game, I feel like, today. So let's see here in the chat. Got a lot of comments here from you guys. And let's see. Oh, did I miss some of the plays there? Bar says Buccaneers to do it in that last one. Cash Kane. Tampa has to win out, says Greg. So I hope I didn't miss too many of those. Tampa in the under there, but we're looking for the Jaguars here. Oh, man, we've had some steam here that's been going off. Let me do this real quick. Old Dominion and Maryland steam here to the over right now in this one. We've had the move come in here on this total with Old Dominion and Maryland. It was 152, but we're up to 154. It looks like here right now with Old Dominion and Maryland. I missed a couple because, we really been missing college basketball. Charleston Southern got steamed in their matchup today. I think we're actually previewing this one if we get that far. Charleston Southern just took the steam in their matchup here today with Richmond. They were getting 13. They're down to 11 and a half here right now. Charleston Southern and Richmond. Charleston Southern took the steam. Lemoyne took steam here against Boston College. They were getting 13 and a half. It's down to 11 and a half right now with Lemoyne and BC. Steam on Lemoyne. Okay. Jags double. Art Thompson on the Jags here. Also, Greg Gibson says Jags to win it there. Right on he likes it over there, I think. And Kane says, he likes Tampa Bay to get it done. He likes them to come back and win this division. All right, Jags are hot. Man, there's VAR covering. Jags, spread's moving down a little bit. Gooey here. Jags have the entire package. Look, really impressive. I mean, and look, I want to root for Lawrence more. Seems like a good cat, right? And paid his dues here year after year. He's not that superstar guy like some of these guys, but it's a good matchup today, man, especially for Jacoby Myers here and Brian Thomas Jr. Even my man Tim Patrick, watch out. You know what? You might want to take Tim Patrick to find the end zone as a long shot today. I know I'm a homer for him. Also, Brenton Strange here today as well. I think Strange could find the end zone. It's a great matchup for the Jaguars here. And not only that, the Jaguars run defense. Yeah, you could run Johnny Taylor here, and that's what you probably think you should do. But it's a tough matchup, man, against this Jaguars top 3 run defense. So probably, though, Alec Pierce, I don't mind him today. I think you're going to see Alec Pierce and Ty Warren be maybe a couple guys that could find the end zone for the Colts in a high-scoring game. Public Enemy likes the under, though. Blake likes the Jags here. D-Money likes the Jags. Bobby Mack going over 9. Legacy, Indy money line here for an upset. Remember, the Dogs are 5-0 so far this week. Jacksonville for hello to Steve. Nice to see you today. And also here, uh, get to those games in just a moment. I'm trying to get there. Thank you guys. We'll keep moving right now with our next one. Big one here, Patriots and the Jets. Sure, the Patriots are big 2-touchdown favorites here, and they want to keep winning right now. Still can try to chase down maybe the Broncos here. Maybe not, but Patriots still 2-touchdown favorite. The thing is, the Jets, yeah, Patriots are a little bit hungry here because of their stumbles here a little bit, it feels like, of late. Yeah, they did bounce back impressively to beat Baltimore and win as a dog last week, but still probably have the bitter taste of that Buffalo game. Meanwhile, the Jets have failed to cover in 3 straight, getting blown out by Miami, losing to Jacksonville by 28, getting beat by New Orleans. They can't beat anybody here right now. Don't you think the Patriots here with this division game? I don't look at it as like a division game that'll help the Jets. I kind of look at it as like a division game. The Patriots are going to smoke them here. The teams met at Foxborough 27-14. They covered the first one, laying 12.5 at New England. So got to almost kind of cover the same number here, but it feels like they might. I'm going to go under here. I think the Jets are going to have a real tough time finding the end zone here right now with the way their offense is going. And give me the under here with the Patriots and the Jets in this one at 43. I'm going under with the Patriots and the Jets. These two teams do trend over. There's no doubt right now they're combined 18-12 to the over this season. Jets are 5-2 to the over at home, 8-5 to the over as a dog. But I'd rather take the under here. I think the Patriots are. Look, I was saying I like the Patriots as actually the team in the AFC. Obviously, because of Josh Allen, had to kind of reassess that right now, but still kind of pulling for these guys a little bit. Not to hate on my brothers here on the channel, loving those Bills, but the Bills got him, and Josh Allen is the man. He is the only man really in the AFC. It feels like, even if you figure, look, you're really going to trust a team like Jacksonville here to if they do have to play the Bills, even if they get them at home. I don't know. All right, and your comments can go quickly here in this one with. Let's see who we got here. Andrew K. Underestimated. Nate's going to be on the path to smash. I can't disagree with him this time. Definitely think this is a spot where the Patriots should have a strong advantage here. I know it's easy to just say, yeah, the Jets suck, because they do, and maybe this is the one. Maybe they could come up. It doesn't feel like it. I'd rather trust the Jets if they were playing some NFC team that was a 13-point favorite, not a team that the last 2 games the Patriots have beat them pretty good. I know last year it was close, but the Patriots won that game at home. They were an underdog last year. All right, Cash Kane says he doesn't like the spot for the Patriots. Maybe off the win, you're on the road, second straight road game. I get it. I just think the Jets are a mess. Art Thompson's on the Jets, though. Blake is on the Pats. Andrew K will take the 2 TDs. So will Cash Kane, it looks like. So real split here in the chat. Dirty Reg, Pats and under. Greg, Jets are good for 13 points. I guess that would be a Patriots cover, right? If a total gets anywhere near the expected total. Could be a backdoor, says Andrew K. Robert says, why not just take the Patriots in the first half to get off to a great start? I love the Patriots personnel and offense, it feels like to me, in this game. Not exactly horrible weather here in New York today. What is it, 30 to 32 degrees or something right now? 30 degrees, but no precipitation here. So could be a big day for the Patriots in the run game, and also for Stephon Diggs here as well. And for the Jets, watch out. Breece Hall, he could get shut down, I would think, here in this one. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now. We're almost through the NFL. Steve likes the under. Public Enemy says it's a blowout. And Nuke says these Bills are going to the Super Bowl. I missed one here also with Terrell. Pats will be conservative in this one. No need to get all crazy here. But I do think they want to win, right? So you can't take any chances as well. But I just wonder about the Jets. Um, this offense right now should mention obviously with Brady Cook in there, we'll see what he can do. Obviously, the first two games. I mean, look, he averaged about 180 yards here, and look, good completion percentage for Brady Cook, upwards of near 70%. I mean, yeah, it's a short passing game, but all right, let's keep it moving, you guys, right now, and go to the game of all games, the tank game of the year, and now without Max, now without Bowers, the Giants have moved to a 2.5-point favorite. It does feel like the Raiders are in complete tank mode, but we might see such ineptitude here. I actually think that taking a couple of points might be the way to go in this one. It gets hard to want to even recommend the Raiders here, but I know it looks like the Raiders they are probably totally tanking here, but the Giants really don't look like they want to win either. I just remember a game a couple years ago. You might remember 2 or 3 years ago, the Raiders played the Chargers, and both teams were trying to, it felt like, lose the game. Remember, they were in a situation where, like, if they ended up tied, something was going to happen. I am the Chargers fan. You'd think I'd remember this story, but it was something like if they tied and they were in overtime and no one could do anything. It felt like it was going to be the worst tie of all time. I think they did tie, right? And that could happen here. It could be something really bizarre. Usually when you get games like this isn't where the offenses explode. This is where it is kind of almost a football follies type of game. And I got to think it stays under. I got to think we're going to the 19 to 17 range here or something like that. So I'm going with the under in the Giants and the Raiders. I don't know if you want to talk about this one too much. I'd rather just get the plays from you and move on with this terrible matchup. Hey, you can go to tankathon.com if you've never seen it and see the reverse standings of all the leagues. And not only do you get the reverse standings on tankathon.com, but it also shows you which teams have they have a little arrow, like if they traded their pick to another team. So I think it's a cool site. It puts the standings in reverse order, and it indicates the lottery teams too in those other leagues. They have the tankathon for each league. So check it out if you haven't seen that site before. Helps you keep track of the tankathon all the way. Hello to Jimmy Wynn in the chat. Thank you for being here. Art Thompson's going to like Vegas here. And let's see here. Public Enemy likes the over in this one. Greg there says it's going to be close. Dirty Red says the got to take the Raiders here. I mean, we're still waiting, he says, for the Giants to win a game on the road, right? When you're 0-8. Yeah, the Raiders are 1-6 at home, but also, when you got 2 wins, I guess you could only win them somewhere. Thank you. Oh, my aunt. Everyone say hello to my aunt here. She's saying happy birthday in the chat. And she didn't have a pick, but thank you to my Aunt Sandy here today. Oh, man, I should show you the neat gift I got from her. Some beautiful cups to drink out of. Probably ought to break them out on the show. Thank you to my aunt, and thank you so much. Okay, Bobby Mack here is on the under. WeDo says, oh man, WeDo's talking a little basketball in there already. Cash Gain says it'll go overtime. Maybe it'll be 6-6 or 9-9. This is going to be that bad of a game. NYC Bar on the over. Jimmy, thank you. Nice to see you in the chat as well. And Terrell says last time the Giants were road favorites, they did win but didn't cover. Our Tom says hello to my aunt. And Cash Gain does as well. Yes. All right. Okay, let's get off the Giants and the Raiders. Craig says he's gonna send me some Cap'n Crunch. Remember, Cap'n Crunch, not Captain, because you're capping, you're handicapping. All right. So yeah, not going to be a great game for sure. But I will say this: the Giants are 9-6 to the over this season, 5-3 to the over on the road. Raiders are 4-3 to the over at home, and the only time that the Giants were favored this season in that game against Washington, they lost. It did not, and it did go over. All right. Andrew K. I thought he was going to send me Domino's pizza, but he's just eating Domino's pizza. Thank you to Jake Parma as well. Okay, let's keep it moving here. We're just about done. Two more to go with the big one. You're going to have Mikey and his brother, basically, you guys. So we'll see. We won't see him until after the game is over. But what do you like in the matchup between Mikey Money and MMA Jeff's two favorite teams? Now, they do like each other's teams, but they got to stick with their guns. You got Jeff, the Bills. You got Mike, the Eagles. Now, look, I got to try to cap this game and and I think as myopic as Mike can be, right? You might think right now that maybe the Bills situation feels a little bit more urgent than the Eagles. Is that possible right now? The Eagles might be kind of resigned to their position a little bit. They might be kind of stuck where they're at right now in the current seedings, and that might affect them a little bit in this game. It's not for sure. I mean, they can come out here, take this game very seriously. Look, we've already had you guys talk about Super Bowl preview here. Can't argue with that these two teams are, Super Bowl caliber teams right now, even if the Eagles have been disappointing here of late, particularly offensively. But feels like they're getting a little bit healthier here. And, this is the big game of the afternoon, even though the Giants and the Raiders are butted up against it. But look, you got A.J. Brown here. You got Cameron Williams questionable here, but do have some great news with Jalen Carter, of course, upgraded to probable here in this game. So that is very good news for them. For Buffalo, there's concerns. I mean, you're going to have Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, both questionable. It might come down to which guy is less injured and can play. They might both miss the game here. To me, it still feels like Buffalo that's won 16 of their last 17 games at home, 5 of their last 6 overall. Philadelphia, they, not showing a lot of weakness here. It's just that the offense has been leaving something to be desired a little bit here. So we'll see in this one between the Eagles and the Bills. Should be a pretty awesome game. I'm going over. I know that, there's maybe because of the obviously quality defenses that maybe it could be a little bit lower scoring here and not get to 44, but I also think you're going to have two teams that are a little bit loose, knowing that they're in necessarily. The defensive players don't want to get hurt just as much as offensive players. Just trying to be objective here about what I think we could see in this one. So I'm going to take the over here in this one with the Eagles and the Bills. So I'm going over in this game, but I think it favors the Bills a little bit, actually, at home as well. I know that's an easy cap, but all right. And let's see here. Looks good for 48 points. Is that what? Okay, let's see. Of course, Terrell, constantly the same gift. Hey, we got you the gift. We got you the one gift. All right. Bills closed it out horribly last week. Art Tom's liking the Eagles, though, here. Buffalo, lots of snow. From my understanding, it's going to be warm enough, I believe, that the precipitation will only be rain, maybe a little bit of slush at this game. So there is precipitation expected, 75%. So we're going to have some kind of conditions out there, but it's pretty mild right now, 42 degrees in Buffalo. So maybe it's supposed to be a little colder right before the game, that we could see some flurries, but it sounds more slushy there. See, look, my aunt, though, defending the family, said we did both separately. All right, fair enough. There, I was looking for a little sympathy. All right, Dirty Reg over game. Both teams can find the end zone. Bills by double digits, says Nuke. Nine Legacy. Buffalo on the spread. Public Enemy. Eagles in the over. Roberts going over, and it's raining up there right now. Like I said, it's it might sound like a pretty crummy day, but 42 right now. I think everybody will be pretty happy with that. Um, we know the bad weather is coming. Uh, I don't want to say for Buffalo. Uh, like I said, maybe it'll be Buffalo at Jacksonville. Maybe Buffalo could, if they're at home against Jacksonville, that'd be pretty good advantage. But also, maybe Josh can operate a little. He's the best cold weather quarterback, right? With him and Hurts are probably the two best. But also, he can kind of maybe feel a little more comfortable in warm weather too. I don't know. Okay, let's see though. Here, leaned over. The Eagles look like the move. Supposed to be raining with a little bit of snow. Yeah, I show it never really getting over, getting up to about 42 degrees, and that's going to be warm enough. I mean, there's no very little indication it's going to get much colder than 40. So don't think the snow will get there today. So we'll see. There and in the wind, 7 to 9 miles an hour. I think they'll take that too. Sounds like okay conditions for it. So I'm going to take the over in this one. All right, one more here. We got to kind of step on it. We're 30 minutes away from the football show with Mikey and Sharky. They'll get you ready for the card today. But I'm going to go over the night game. We just talked about Kittle. Basically very doubtful for this game. It does not look good for George Kittle. And that's not great for San Francisco here. They're on a roll, but the Bears are playing great as well. I already know that I'm on this 49ers team to really get going here and maybe even ride this train out. Remember, they can win these two last games. They could still get the number 1 seed. Then they'd play all their games at home until the Super Bowl, and they're at home in the Super Bowl. So it's kind of like watch out. Not only that, Fred Warner, he's getting close to it now. I say getting close to a return. They said the AFC Championship. He might be on the fast track. He could possibly get in. But they said the AFC Championship. But I know Fred Warner. I don't know him I don't know him, but I know his story and his way of doing things. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets back for the division series, actually. Niners are hot here right now, of course, with this win streak currently. And not only that, they're covering every game. Of course, it just beat up the Colts. Short week for the Niners, right? They were there with Monday night, but they crushed them, remember? And beat Uptown Tennessee, beat Cleveland, beat Carolina. Easy schedule, no doubt. But they've handled it, and they've covered the spread. The Bears here, meanwhile, they are the division champions. Make no mistake. They won that title. Yes, they do trail the Seahawks by just one game. I guess there's a chance they could win 2 games. The Seahawks could. The Bears are going to be the division champs right here. They do need to kind of get a win too to stay kind of ahead of the Eagles somewhere in there. But they're a dog here. Deep breath. We just won the division title yesterday. It's going to be hard for the Bears to get up, man, here. And the Niners kind of still with that momentum of trying to win the division title. Remember, they're in second place in the NFC West right now. So I don't think it's the best spot here for Chicago, and especially coming off the win over the Packers last week, as awesome as it was, in revenge as well. Just the handicap-o-meter, the scale of justice here isn't quite working, it feels like, for the Bears today. Really bummed that Kittle's out of there. The spread really hasn't affected too much. I mean, it's still 51.5 or so. That is a high total here for this game. Now, look, because of the fact that maybe these two teams have secured playoff spots, that could loosen things up for an offense here. But man, that is a high total for. I know we see the Cardinals and the Bengals with a high total, but I'm also thinking that. The Bears have been playing very good defense as well. That's kind of helped them. You do have the Bears probably a number 2, running defense here. We mentioned that Patriots-Jets total. It's dropping even further now there. So maybe the weather there is getting a little funky. Remember, we already said we're on the under. We're seeing that total here drop to 41.5 right now at Circa in that game. And also the Raiders and the Giants, we mentioned the under there. This one's dropped here now to 40.5 right now. So got some games moving lower here with these totals. And look, maybe this will be, primetime special here, but I got to go under with this one at 51.5 between the Bears and San Francisco. If they get there, that's great. I think McCaffrey, this is one team that's going to be tough on McCaffrey. I think this is the game where I'm probably getting on that show tonight with the guys. I know that there's going to be guys taking CMC, so maybe I won't go on there saying go under with CMC. I'm probably going under with CMC here. And look, we love him. He's great. But this Bears run defense is good, and I think they will be able to give him a little bit of a hard time here in this one. Look, everybody also wants to take DJ Moore. Said this is the DJ Moore spot. I think you guys did in the chat too, but watch out on that one because I think that's where the Niners are going to be able to kind of slow the passing game a little bit of the Niners here. So that's why I think it kind of goes under in this game. Okay, we got to get to the other sports. Let me go through the plays from you guys in this one. And then we'll get to these other sports. We'll do it quickly. We'll start with the NBA, and then maybe we'll get to the NHL. I don't think we'll get to college basketball, but get my plays out there at winnable.com. Art Thompson is on the over there. And look, this is her team. This is Art Thompson's team. So, she's our correspondent here. Greg liking San Francisco there to get the money. Niners to win the Super Bowl. Look, Razor and I both took that futures bet. I believe both of us are at least 15-1. I know that's what I got. Robert here on the Niners. Bears could get exposed. Yeah, Nuke, I don't know if it'll be so much. I think just the bad matchups. Bears do have weaknesses. They kind of play into the some of the strengths here. And this one, did this one get flexed into the Sunday night? Here, I don't know. All right, let's see. And Caleb will be on the run, right? A little bit different. Okay, that's it from you guys. Let's go to the NBA here real quick. We're starting to see the injuries. Joel Embiid is out of the first game. I think we already knew that, but the 76ers are going to take on the Thunder here tonight. This is a 6-game NBA card starting at 3:40 Eastern and 12:40 Pacific with the Sixers here. Big underdog now on the road against this Thunder team that's got to be stewing off the back-to-back losses to the Spurs. The Thunder can beat everybody but the Spurs, apparently. They're 26-2 against the rest of the league, 0-3 against the Spurs. Philadelphia, 16-13. Philadelphia, one of the best road spread teams, right, in the league. 8-2-1 against the spread on the road. This 9-2-1 now on the road against the spread. Oklahoma, they get the job done. Sometimes they cover, sometimes they don't because they're laying a lot of points. But I think when you're going with a team here, and I know that sometimes we say, hey, Joel Embiid sits. We like Philadelphia better when Joel Embiid sits. I don't know if we want to go that far, but it's up to 15.5 now. Oh gosh, I got to go with the Sixers here in this one with Maxey can get it done here. Look, the Sixers did lose that game to Chicago the other night. They lost to Brooklyn at home, but when you're 9-2-1 against the spread, I'm going to try the Sixers here in this one, plus the points. Sure, the Thunder, they could be totally steaming because they lost those 2 games. They can blow anybody out they want. But Philadelphia is one of the better spread teams for sure. So I think I got to look at it more that way. OKC 9-7 against the spread at home, 16-15 against the spread as a favorite. You guys are welcome to put your comments in, but we're going to go kind of fast. R. Thompson's on the Thunder. Greg likes it as a blowout here. Thunder on the spread for 9 legacy, but the under might be the best play. I don't know. The total here has moved from 225 up to 226.5. It did go as high as 228, and there was a little bit of buyback. Eagles, Flyers, and Sixers. Of course, for Philly Eagle Flyer. Come on. Blake is on the Sixers here. Greg says Thunder will smack them down, and Public Enemy is going to buy a few extra points and take the Sixers. Next up, Robert liking the over as well. Next up, the Warriors are on the road here, taking on the Raptors. Feels tricky to me. Come on, Warriors favored by 5.5. You're sure the Raptors have had some struggles here of late. Not games probably they shouldn't be losing. They lost to Washington. They've lost to Brooklyn. They did lose to Boston. They beat Miami on the road impressively. So a little bit broken here, but good news for the Raptors here. Looks like R.J. Barrett, he's upgraded to questionable. I think he might make this lineup here today, actually. Podol is still out for the Raptors here. DeAnthony Melton is out for the Warriors. Seth Curry he's butthurt with his injury, and Pajemski, he's out here as well. But Warriors on the road. Come on, I'm not too fond of them right now doing anything here on the road. This is a team that's 7-10 against the spread on the road, 6-11 straight up. Toronto's 8-7 at home straight up. They're 4-11 against the spread at home, but that's when they're favored. Here they're a dog. This is a great situation, I think, for the Raptors here today against the Warriors. I'm not trusting the Warriors here, despite the fact that they have won 3 straight over Phoenix, Orlando, and Dallas. No problem with that. Pardon me, gang. But no, I think Toronto here, you can always throw in the Canada factor a little bit too, as the Warriors got to make the trip over there here. This is the first game of their road trip here, right out of that Christmas game against the Dallas Mavericks here. So go ahead and sign me up for Toronto in this one, plus those points at home. Yeah, for sure. Okay, here we go. Oops, we're going to work quickly here. Hopefully we can get through at least the NBA, huh? Let's see here. Steve with a prop in there in the OKC game. There's Greg with his pick. Raptors here for our Tomps. Warriors will take this one. Looks like they're getting their groove back a little bit. Ah, man, are they? I don't have much hope for this team, really. I think the deal with Draymond is actually, you could say same old Draymond, but I think there's some shit there for sure. Blake here on the Raptors, and Greg said Toronto just lost to the Wizards. No doubt. They lost to them by 21 points in that game on the road. But back home here after a 3-game road trip right now. Next up, we did see also that those injuries are confirmed. Melton and Curry out. Pajemski is now probable here. Grizzlies will take on the Wizards. Here's those Wizards in this one. Hey, maybe the Wizards are playing well. I don't know. Got a couple covers here of late. They got a win, obviously, here. Right on Wizards. Let's go. Taking on Memphis here. The Wizards are 6-23, of course. Memphis 15-16 here. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, and I think that's kind of where I would probably go. And the Washington coming in, like I said, off of a win. Memphis has won 2 straight here, coming in with wins over Utah and Milwaukee. So did cover those. They're also 10-4, the Grizzlies, as a favorite here this season. Washington, not a great dog, 11-16 overall, but Washington won the meeting here just 8 days ago. Washington won in Memphis, 130-122. So yeah, maybe Memphis is steaming, but Memphis isn't some great team here that can just go around pushing teams around because they're favored. I'd probably just end up going with the total here in this one with these two teams. A widely reported steam did come in on the under, and it's still 240.5. So I got to take the under in this one for sure with Memphis and Washington here. The game the other day did go to 252. I'll give you that, but I'll take the under here in Washington here tonight. Memphis is 5-11 to the under on the road this season. Now, granted, Washington's 10-3 to the over at home, but I'm going to take the under at 240. R. Thompson's with me. Greg said Toronto just lost to the Wizards. Blake is on the Raptors. Blake leaning to the under, and Greg says Memphis wins it, but the Wizards get the cover. All right. Next up here, we've got Celtics and the Blazers here. Celtics favored by 7 on the road. They come in 19-11. The Blazers 12-19. So, you're going to have the Celts here comfortably favored in this one. Look, the Celtics have definitely gotten their mojo back a little bit, gotten their groove back a little bit. It feels like right now with this winning streak, the way it's going. And hey, you got a team here where they do pretty well in, even though it is a non-conference game here, obviously between these two. But I don't think I mind here taking a look at a favorite here. Maybe I could go to the total with these two, but for the Celtics here, minus 7 right now, and the total sitting at 230. Portland's lost 3 in a row here currently to Detroit, Orlando, and the Clippers. Didn't come close to covering. They were an underdog in all those games. Boston, meanwhile, in that 4-game win streak, did lose to Indiana, did fail to cover the spread against Indiana, but then covered the spread at home next one out. Portland is 9-11 to the under as a dog, but 8-6 to the over as a at home, and Boston is 6-9 to the under on the road. So see what you got in this one. We'll quickly move along here with our NBA coverage here with these two. And look, I think probably feels like a pretty good matchup here for Boston, the way they're going right now. And I'm going to have to lay it on the road here with the Celtics. Might be a square play, but right now, I like the fact they're playing well, and they know they need to kind of get it going here, get it in gear. Trailblazers to cover. R. Thompson's on the Celtics, and Greg says this spread is on the move here right now. Okay, I'm showing 7 and 230. Next up, the Pistons are at the Clippers, and the Clippers, what can you say? They're actually won 3 in a row. Detroit's still hot. Even though they lost that game. I mean, they're hot. They need a long losing streak to not call them hot. They did lose to Utah. You guys are laughing about that a little bit, but hey, they were on the road. We know Utah has been a profitable cover team at home. They happened to win that game. Before that, wins for Detroit, Charlotte, Portland on the road, Sacramento on the road. Detroit's one of those teams that have spent Christmas here on the road a little bit, so they could be feeling the fatigue. Clippers come in with the 3-game winning streak, beating the Lakers, Houston, and Portland impressively. Clippers still just 3-10 against the spread at home here this season. I feel like it's Detroit can maybe bounce back a little bit and maybe get them here, but feels a little bit uncomfortable laying 3. I still like the Pistons to get it done. It's just the Clippers are starting to come back here a little bit. I think they have woken up some with Harden getting hot here, obviously. Clippers are 10-6 to the over as an underdog here this season. Portland Detroit here might be a little bit of an over team so far this season. I think for me in this one, I'd probably look to the Pistons here. I'm going to go ahead and lay it with Detroit here tonight, 3 points. I'm a little bit worried that maybe the Clippers are starting to find their groove, but I still feel like underlying problems with this team. They've just found a little bit of a reason to win a few games here of late. All right, here we go. Public Enemy I missed kind of your plays there. Thank you, Andrew K. Really appreciate your birthday wishes as well. Nasty said he does like the Celtics to smash as well. R. Thompson's on the Clippers plus the points. Greg here's liking Detroit. Bobby Mack on the Clippers 9. Legacy Clippers on the spread. Blake's on the over. One more NBA game here. Then we'll run down the hockey real quick. Kings and Lakers here tonight. Lakers favored by 13.5 now, 231.5. Look, you might think here the Lakers could, of course they're going to be better than the Queens, but let me get this total updated here. Actually, there we go. 13.5 now and 231.5. So, yeah, you'd think the Lakers here off of a 3-game losing streak that they could find a way to beat these Kings right now. But something's wrong with the Lakers. I mean, you got Coach Redick right now questioning these guys big time. It's just that Sacramento 11-17 as an underdog this season. Lakers 5-7 against the spread at home. The two teams met in October. Lakers could have won by 7 on the road. They did cover actually in that one. The Kings actually won here back in October, 117-116 as a 7-point dog. So look, I just think the Lakers, there's some kind of issues here with this team. It feels like right now, so much so it's made Coach Redick kind of question what the team's doing. Now they got an easy game here. Hey, real quick, some steam came in here just now in the game between Pennsylvania and George Mason. Steam to the under. I know George Mason does have Fat Hill probable today, so that word just in, but still the under here is the move in Pennsylvania and George Mason. We're seeing that steam come in here on the under down to 145.5 right now with Penn and Mason here. I'll tell you what, we're not going to get to the college basketball segment, but I like George Mason to roll here over Penn today, and I'm going to be willing to lay 17 points with George Mason. They're looking like we've seen this George Mason program here a little bit, so I'm taking them. Anyway, in the Kings here and the Lakers, Lakers to me do not strike me as a team that's going to be blowing anybody out anytime soon, even if it is named the Sacramento Kings. The Kings have covered 3 straight games, including 12.5 points at home against Houston. Yeah, we're on the road here, but Lakers don't impress me enough right now. I'll be hard-pressed just to get a win close to double digits. I'm taking the Queens. Give me the Kings plus the points in that one. Okay, we got 5 minutes here to look over maybe some hockey real quick. 5 games. I think we get some picks out anyway. Let's see. Public Enemy went on the over. Let's see. We do got something on Gonzaga here tonight. Get your money Gonzaga versus the under just over. Don't know what that is. Blake here on the over. He's also on the Kings here plus the points. And Jerry says the Bears are going to be having some guys down here tonight, right? It's going to start now that they've clinched the division a little bit. All right, Lakers in a beatdown, says Greg. R. Tom says the Lakers have issues, right? I mean, you got he said it. Coach Redick said it point blank, right? We have guys in this locker room who are not being professional. Who's he talking about? One of the guys that definitely is not giving 100% out there is LeBron James. I'm the LeBron apologist in here, right? I love LeBron. LeBron's physical. There's something wrong with LeBron. I know he tries to pace himself as well. He has to. Okay, over for VAR. Briggs says a high spread. Let me see if we can get a few hockey plays in here real quick. I want to say the Giants also here just a few moments ago, real quick. We're going to do a few hockey plays and get off the air, but the Giants here are starting to move to 3 here in Las Vegas. The South Point has just moved to 3. We're seeing this one tick up a little bit to 3 right now for the Giants here over the Raiders today. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give out a few here real quick. Canadians and Lightning here. I like the Canadians here in this one, plus money against Tampa Bay right now. You got Fowler in here, and hey, he's done a real good job here moving in as Habs number 1 goalie right now. So I like Montreal here in this game, plus $1.30 or so, and Fowler's done a good job, but watch out. Jonas Johansson, my man, is in there for the Lightning today, and he might be in trouble in this game. Watch out. This one, the only thing kind of getting me off of it here a little bit is I think it's mostly 6.5 industry-wide. There's some 6 over 25s. This one could be 4-3 Canadians here today. Give me the Habs. A couple more here real quick. Islanders taking on the Blue Jackets in this one, and got the Blue Jackets here $1.35. Total here is 6 under 20. Blue Jackets are incredible as a home favorite this year, despite their low standing right now. The Blue Jackets are an incredible 8-1 at home as a favorite this season. That sounds pretty solid here. Give me the Blue Jackets to win over the Islanders here tonight. Also coming up, Maple Leafs and the Red Wings here in this one. You've got Hildeby going up against Talbot in this one, and I'm going to take the over in this one with those 2 goaltenders. And again, you're looking at another 6.5, pretty much industry wide, juice to the under, but I think we get to 7 here at least, and maybe the Red Wings get this 4-3 win here tonight. I'm going over with the Leafs and the Wings. 2 more games, and we're going to do the drawing, then we're out of here real quick. Stay tuned. Right now, top of the hour, it's going to be Mikey Money and Sharky here with the NFL show. Pittsburgh taking on the Blackhawks today. Look, Pittsburgh has $1.70 favorite here right now, and maybe I don't mind it in this one. Blackhawks are, if any team is really struggling right now, it is the Blackhawks. So give me Pittsburgh here, -1 goal today. You might take him if the money line's okay to you, but it's up to $1.75 here right now. And Philadelphia and the Kraken in this one, with Philadelphia on the road. Give me the under in this one. Philly and the Kraken at 5.5. The show is over. Let's see if we can do the drawing here real quick, and then we'll get the guys in here for the show. Here we go. Do the drawing. Enjoy the show with Mikey and Sharky up next here on the Sports Money Network. Somebody is going to win 1-month subscription right now. Use the promo code WINNER. It's NYC Bar. I'll just add a month to your subscription. Stay tuned. Mikey and Sharky are next here on the Sports Money Network. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
It's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA, stay away from the